having the expectation, guys, of every single time I go into a demo, I want to get at least 10 to 20 recommendations. I don't view it as a sale because if I make a sale, that's great. But if I don't grow my business after that, like once that demo is done, it's done. Now, yes, I have a customer. I'm excited. I can always follow back up. But Morgan, right? Like we want to make sure that we're also like duplicating that demo, right? That's how it functions, right? So a couple of tips here. You guys want to jot these down, and then I'm just going to do my rec approach. So number one, you want to thank the customer, right? Guys, they just took 35 minutes out of their day. Cool. Thank your customer. Number two, re-enroll them in your goals. If Kathy says it, you do it. So do it. Re-enroll them into your goals. Cool. Because it's been about 30 minutes. I mean, man, guys, like I don't like Jackie's goals. Like, wow, I'm inspired, right? But in 35 minutes, no, I'm just kidding, Jax, right? But like, it's been a little bit for the customer, right? So kind of re-enroll them and tie them in again with that specifics. Number three, you want to qualify them. Cool. Like when they give you, Trevor, 30 names and numbers, I want to make sure those aren't 30, 18-year-old high school seniors, right? I don't know. She may have been confused, yeah, right? So it said, this is the team builder. Miss Jones just wants to go on the cruise, McCain, all right? Go on the boat. But again, you want to make sure who's married, any difficult names to pronounce. I mean, that's a really easy way, guys. I remember Kathy telling me in training, like, guys, if someone calls her Mrs. I forgot. I don't even know how to Miss Kristen or that's her last name. I don't know, Miss Christensen or something. She's like, you don't know who I am. I'm not going to answer your phone call, right? Like making sure you know how to pronounce your customer's name is really important, right? And then always asking who you'd see first, and then use thought joggers. In orientation, all of you guys went through something where we had a names list expansion, right? Where you brought out your brainstorm list, but then we just sat there for 15 minutes and said, hey, who do you know that blank, right? Who do you know that's a doctor? Right? Who do you know that is an engineer? Right? Who do you know that, yada, 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 right? And so I'm going to show you guys how all of this comes together. All right. So here we go. Again, like Jackie said, guys, it's not really the method, it's the content. So whether you're using this approach, I know some of you guys have the advanced VIA approach, right? I want y'all to just listen as if you were the customer and then how you feel after I do it. Okay. So let's see. Miss Morgan, how did you like my demo? Did you think it was great? Yeah, we're best friends. Great. Thank you so much, Miss Morgan. I know you could be doing anything in the world right now, but you taking time out of your day, right? As a busy mom, I know you got a couple kids running around to take time to get me to take time to get help me get better at my skills, help me get better at my job, help me get closer to my goals. Thank you for being the highlight of my day. Seriously, thank you so much. If you can go ahead and pull your cell phone and just answer the third question about my product knowledge for me. And by the way, there's no need to make me sound better than I really am. I want to get real feedback so I can keep improving. Okay. And there's a spot. I don't know if you remember my sponsorship I talked about earlier, but I'm about to bring that up. All right. So because there's one more very important part, and here's where you can really help me out. So I get paid, Nettie, every time I show Cutco, but Gavin, I can only show it to people I've been personally recommended to. So what I would love for you to do, Mr. Raymond, is go through your contacts and just jot down the first, I don't know, 100 names that come to mind. All right. Just kidding. Everyone gives me 10 to 20. Actually, George, the app you downloaded is designed to be a huge time saver for both of us on this part. So Miss Christina, it allows you to send me introductions straight through the app. So anyone you recommend me to just automatically syncs with my phone. Cheers, and this is so much easier. And of course, I'll only be able to see the contacts that you send me. I'm a manager, right? I'm a boss, not any of those people, right? So if you want to just go click the share button and then click OK to gain access and just let me know you're there. Okay, there, Malachi. Awesome. All right. So on this part, I'd like you to go ahead and check off everyone you think might be nice enough to see me, right? These are not necessarily people we think would buy. All right. Just people who might be willing to take a look. So check out as many as you can and just let me know when you're finished before you click the share button at the bottom. Megan, take as much time as you need on this because it's the most important part for me to hit my goals, and I don't mind waiting. I gotta check you out real quick in the cart anyway. I gotta place your order, right? I want to be doing this, so you can go ahead and start with the recommendations, okay? And then guys, I start doing something. I usually am placing the order. Cool? I ask for recommendations before I check the customer out. I'll explain that here in a moment. Let's say Malachi, the customer says, okay, Malachi, I'm done. Great. High five. Thank you so much. Before you click the share button, can you tell me how many it says you selected in the blue box? All right. Oh, 7? Oh, right. Hi, 7. Heck yes. All right. Heads up, 7. We love it. Just so you know, when you give me at least 10 recommendations, you become a sponsor. When you give me 20 or more, you become a double sponsor. Guys, once I have 50 sponsors, I get a free piece of Cutco from my manager to show them my presentations or sell for cash. So do you think there's any way, Riley, you can think of 3 more to check off who might be willing to see me, so you become a sponsor of mine. By the way, my record is like 85, and I think the record in the office, Jackie has like 250 something, right? Think you can beat that, right? Go big or go home, Miss Jones. Cool. So go ahead and click the share contacts button at the bottom now. Thanks again, Ms. Jones. It's so much easier for me to contact people when they already have a heads up, Ed, that I'm going to be reaching out. So Sam, go ahead and click introduce next to the first one on your list, and then click the blue copy to text button. So Sophia, you'll see it gives you a pre-written text to introduce me to them before I reach out. Right. And also it's going to pop up like a little selfie, so we can take selfie, say cheese, right? Like that, that music, that song. There we go. All right. And then take a photo. Great. Okay. After sending that text, Brittany, go ahead and mark introduce at the bottom, so that one is finished. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for each recommendation. It'll just take a minute or two. And thank you again. This helps a ton. All right. Now, I'm going after a really big goal right now. We're about to gear up, Miss Jones, for something called the playoffs, right? Here in about a week and a half, like all of us are going to get together in a big room and launch us into this sales competition. And I'm really going after recognition. I'm really going after one of the top performers. My manager, Kathy, keeps talking about a scholarship. She keeps talking about some internships, and I want to have my name, on the boards, right? I want people to know my name. All right. So if you are in a big competition, like I'm gearing up for right now, right? Out of the people you sent me, who are the first 5 you would see first? Right? Cool. Like, okay, are they married? Like, how do you know them? Okay, cool. Any difficult names to pronounce? Gotcha. Sweet. Do you mind actually, do you think one of them is available right now? Cool. Could you maybe give them a phone call real quick, or at least a text message, see if I can give them a call here in the next 15, 20 minutes? Right? Because I'm actually short of my demo goal by 3 for the week, and I'm really working hard to hit that. If they're not, it's okay. But do you think maybe 1 or 2 of them at least would be available to chit chat here in a couple minutes? Thank you so much. All right, guys, that's my recommendation approach. Cool. So I did a lot there. Sorry if I kind of read a little quick. I want to recap. So 1, when it comes to recommendations, guys, you want to plant seeds at the beginning of the demo. Cool. You heard Jackie say it earlier. You heard Claudia say it earlier, guys. If those ladies say something, you write it down. Cool. But recommendations doesn't start at the end, it starts at the beginning. Why? Because you want to establish credibility for yourself and build rapport. Well, guys, that doesn't start at the end of the demo. That starts at the beginning of the demo, right? So you want to plant seeds. You also want to plant seeds for recommendations. Like when I'm asking my customer, hey, what do you do for fun, Ed? Right? Hey, what are some things that are, what are some holiday plans or some summer plans? Who are you going to be doing those with? Right? A really easy one, guys, is talking about family. Cool. Hey, my family kind of lives all over the United States, right? Is your family mostly close? When was the last time you guys got together? What are family reunions like for you? Family reunions for me to just go crazy. Paul and Kelly go a little nuts, right? So you're kind of figuring out who's in your customers' lives at the beginning of the demo, right? So guess what? When I'm asking my customers, who do you know that's super nice? Cool. I'm it's very, very simple. Because I'm not really asking who, I'm saying, hey, I already know you know these people, right? Can you just introduce me to them? So plant seeds at the beginning. All right. I always like to ask for recommendations before I place the order, guys. So let's say you have a pick 5 special. Brittany, I got to text this to Jackie, or I got to, call our manager, Sophia, make sure I have the right orders. Guys, before you do that, just start asking for recommendations. Right? Kathy told me John, this is the one part of the manual you want to have memorized. Right? She said, John, if I call you at 4 a.m. in the morning and I ask you for X, can you do it? And so I was kind of scared that Kathy was going to do that to me one day. So I sat in a room, I memorized my recommendation approach. Because guys, if you say it with more confidence, all right, it's memorize, then internalize, right? So I memorized it, and then I can just, hey, Miss Jones, how did you like everything? Well, great. Can you go and put yourself on to answer the first 3 questions about my product knowledge for me? And there's no need, you got to be able to just say it, guys. Cool? But I do it before I place the order. So they're not going anywhere. If you have a customer, guys, who's oh, I'll do Rex later when I get time, Chisholm. Yeah, because they're checked out, right? Cool. Keep them there. And they're doing something while you're doing something. Really beneficial. Cool. So if you're getting that objection of all my customers are going to give me Rex later, ask for recommendations before you place the order. Cool. And then the last one, guys, is give customers free Cutco. Cool. Now, approve this with your manager. And I'm not going to dive into this too much, but just be, hey, how do I bonus things? Or can I get a peeler? Guys, you can buy peelers for $8 I think just to give customers for 30, 40, 50, 100 recommendations, maybe even customers who like help you book a couple demos. You heard at the end of my my rec approach, I even asked my customer, hey, Sophia, is there any way that we can maybe call like 1 or 2 customers right now? Because I'm trying to hit my goal. I have 3 more appointments to complete, right? Like, guys, you're right there. She's right there. She's just sitting there on Zoom, right? I mean, she probably is going to talk to at least some of those friends later on this week. Just ask. Never hurts to ask. It's 3 steps of being a professional. Cool. So kind of the nitty gritty right there. Last thing I just wanted to talk about was that thought joggers, guys. You should have a list of people. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. You should have a list of people or professions that you want to be introduced to. Guys, that is the vector opportunity. The vector opportunity is 1, learning at your own pace. 2, I think being able to put your talents and skills into practice. And number 3, being introduced to amazing individuals. You have the best product in the world to be the best liaison, right? So like if you want to be a doctor, you want to be a surgeon, you want to be an engineer, you want to be a business or whatever, real estate, whatever, just ask for those types of people, right? Hey, Ms. Jones, who you know is super nice and they own their own business, right? They would not buy, but they don't hate hardworking young adults. Right, that's huge, guys. If you didn't write that down, I'll write that down. Guys, I got so many recommendations. I got 157 recommendations from Miss Terry Ely, right? Handwritten, by the way. Right, you guys are so spoiled. We used to have to write recommendations had to be handwritten back in the day, right? I couldn't read half my customers' handwriting. Who do you know that's super nice and they wouldn't buy Grant, but they blank, right? They're a nurse, they're a doctor, right? Because all your customers are thinking of, if you're not getting over 10, your customers are only thinking about, okay, who would buy knives? Well, guys, like, I don't know, maybe a handful of people, right? Because they want to help you out. So help them like just kind of like reframe their mindset. Just because you said it once doesn't mean they heard you. So when you say those thought joggers, it helps. Oh yeah, okay, you go see that person, right? Or you brought up some family friends that you kind of talked about earlier on building rapport. Bring those back up with recommendations. Cool, right? But guys, just to wrap up, recommendations, the one part of the business you can't control, right? Kathy used to teach me this phrase. Like, if a customer only gives you 2 or 3, she was like, John, ask them, do you not like me or do you not like the product? Right? Go ahead. So just being straight up honest. First time I said that, I thought I was going to throw up. Cindy, I'm not going to lie. But guys, it's true. Like, it's kind of like a checkup from the neck up, right? Like Miss Jones, like, it's you either don't like me or you don't like the product. Cool. And if they bought, obviously they like the product. So it's kind of like, okay, like, how can I show that I'm likable? I'm trustworthy. Right. And yeah, I think questions, like when I ask those questions and qualify, questions show you care. Like Kathy's always, telling you guys in your demos, show you want to be interested in your customers, not interesting. Right. So when you ask questions, hey, how do you know these people? Right. When's the best time to call them, Morgan? Cool. It's like, oh, the person generally cares about these people. Right. They're not just looking at them as numbers. So I know I kind of went a little faster. Hopefully there's a couple nuggets that you guys were able to take away. But guys, the best person in your office who's good at recommendations is your manager. So if you're struggling, please, you're not the first and you're not the last. We are here to help you guys. Cool. And these workshops that Claudia was talking about earlier are a great way to do that. So thank you guys. That's really all I had for recommendations, Kat.